Hey, how's it going, guys? Here at IDGAF, magazine shoot with Lethal Bizzle, the man himself, looking very dapper to my right.
Yes, man.
So how's it going?
All good, man. All good, man. I had a good day. Really looking really dench, if I would say so myself.
Very dench.
I want to shout out to the stylist, man. He did a good job, man.
Very good job. Shout out to the stylist. So, from Power 2004, we've seen to now, we've seen a big change. We jumped straight back in there. Seen a big change in the whole demeanour of Lethal Bizzle. How's that come about? Where did you go with that?
I think it's been more of a natural progression. I think a lot of my success has kind of been very organic, you know, and I think now it's even more because I have a real connection with the fans. You know, like even if you talk about songs like Pow, even before that, songs like Oi, you know, those records were just records that me and my friends were just making because we just liked making music. It wasn't about, you know, trying to get a #1 record, and that's always been my main focus. I've always known, or thought to myself, if you're trying to chase the charts and, you know, chase things that you can't really control, you're always going to put yourself in a vulnerable position. So I've always wanted to just, you know, do things that feel good for me first, you know, and just move organically and just try and progress, you know, and speak to the fan because they're the consumers, they're the ones who are really keeping me relevant and purchasing the product. So I always try to just be hands-on and just move with the times. Like now, we've got Twitter, we've got all these other things like Power 2004, there's no Twitter.
Yeah, it's just
those. Yeah, hardly anything. Like, iTunes was just, you know, coming up, but yeah, it's been a long road, but it's been an enjoyable one, definitely.
I mean, from Power 2004, I know you want to mobile off that, the best newcomers. So that must have been like a pretty good feeling for something that you're just doing with your friends at that time, to think, like, was it then that you thought, I'm just gonna follow this?
It was, to be fair, it was kind of before that, like, when I was in More Fire Crew, in 2001, it kind of stemmed off that because we had a deal, we had a top 10 record with Oi. You know, that was like my first introduction into the music business, and that kind of gave me the hunger, gave me that you know, it was almost like a drug. Like, I love this, man. Like, it's exciting. You know, we're performing, we're getting paid for just doing things we love doing, and then we kind of got it all taken away from us. Like, you know, a lot of the urban garage, whatever, grime scene was getting a lot of negativity. You know, So Solid. You know, they really, I think, called it the short end of the stick. Like, the police really shut them down, and it kind of had a domino effect on everybody. So it's off the back of that is where I was like, whoa, like, where are we gonna go from there? And that's where Pow came. And I was like, you know, like, there's no point us just going back underground and not working with each other. So my thing was let's just do a song together. So that's where Pow came, and off the back of Pow was when, like, like, I think that record is more than just me. I think it's a statement with the UK music scene. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think everybody's got a story about that record. It's like a moment. You know?
Everyone knows that song.
They don't. Do you know what I mean? So it was an amazing moment, not just for myself. People on the record, you know, people like Roll Deep and DWE, people got record deals and had success on the back of that as well. And it also shed the light back on the UK urban scene again, and labels, and, you know, people like Jay-Z heard about it and rapped on it. I don't know, did you know that? Go on YouTube and check it out. Like, we did on his tour. He rapped on Pow in his show in the Royal Albert Hall and Wembley and stuff. So that song really, you know, it really did, you know, kick the door down for myself and the UK scene.
That is a pretty good. To hear Jay-Z with something that must have.
Yeah, it was quite surreal because I just got a call from his DJ. His name at the time, Green Lantern. He got my email from Westwood or something. He was like, yo, Jay-Z's gonna perform your track. And I was in Amsterdam at the time, so I couldn't even get to see it until later. I think he done a show at the Royal Albert Hall with an orchestra, and it was amazing. So I went down to that, and that's when I saw him do it, and it was just like, whoa, like, surreal. And to him even to, you know, acknowledge that, you know, UK record, you know, we've always been chasing the US, and they've come over here and complimented us, and I met him and we spoke about it real briefly, and, you know, real humble guy, man.
Really amazing. And I've noticed you was like kind of your own thing when it comes to music. You don't really follow what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
You can see that from your latest release.
Yes.
Austin Hammrd.
Yes.
What you getting with that? Was?
You know what it is? Like, my fans are just so crazy, man. Like, I love my fans so much, man. And, like, I think over the years I've become even more comfortable in my show because I'm a bit of a weird character. Like, I think everybody's got a weird side to them when they're at home. They just want to just, you know, just act like a fool or just want to just let your hair down, you know. And I started doing these video blogs and stuff, you know, just letting people know about my day and stuff, and it just really started connecting. I could just see like I was getting a real, like my fans were really engaging with me more by doing that. So I started, you know, doing more of them. And then I do my own events, Dench parties, and they're really wild, man. Like my fans are really just proper, like happy-go-lucky lads, girls. You just really go for it. So the new record, I just wanted to just kind of like do something that kind of complements that. So they just got another record where they could just wild out to. And the video, I wanted to kind of capture as much, you know, footage from the shows. I also did a competition for the fans to be like, yo, upload, you know, you're doing something crazy online and we'll put it in the video. You know what I mean? So it's just a real kind of engagement with the fans, you know, just trying to get shine a light on them. But again, just another record for them to just wild out to and for me to do more stage diving too.
Stuff. So you mentioned Dench as well.
Yes.
Firstly, I want to invite to one of those parties.
You need to come. They're mental, especially the summer ones. Look out for the summer ones abroad, around Europe, and they go off.
So Dench is your own clothing brand.
Yes.
It's something that a lot of people would try and do. They try and emulate and try and make their own clothing lines, but it wasn't as successful as Dench.
Yes.
You're in Choice, you're in Footside, and you're in USC.
Yeah.
How's that for you?
You know what? It's overwhelming, man. It's you know, I wouldn't say it's a mistake. But it was, again, the fans, you know, it just started off as a word that me and my friends used to say, and it just meant cool. Anything that was cool was like, oh, that's Dench, that's Dench. And then online, people were like, oh, you need to do Dench t-shirts, you need to do Dench hats. And we was like, all right, cool. So we just done Dench hats, Dench t-shirts, and they just kept selling, and we was just like, right, it just says Dench on the t-shirt, and people buying into it. So I kind of like sat down and started put more attention to detail. I was like, you know, maybe we should like, you know, redo the logo and, you know, incorporate different things, hats, tracksuits, t-shirts, sweatshirts, you know, and then we got an agent on board, and then they were just like, yo, we see the potential of the brand, and me just using my marketing knowledge of the music, just kind of put it into the clothing, you know, just trying to get the awareness out there. And it just spread like wildfire. I mean, like, obviously Judy Dench is a certain...
I saw her in the hat, thinking, wow.
Yeah, she co-signed it. I was really nervous if she was going to co-sign it or not. I didn't want her to think that I'm just like this guy taking her name because it's quite a famous name and I'm trying to make money off it. It was, you know, it was nothing like that. But for her to be like, yeah, like I really enjoyed it. She came out and done an interview about it on Graham Norton's show and Radio 1, and she was just like, yeah, I love it. And I think it's kind of like a compliment to her, you know, she's an old lady, and like Dench means cool, so you know it kind of makes it. I think it kind of makes it feel kind of special. So, but yeah, it's been a blessing, and I just hope, you know, it continues to grow. There's a few other projects I can't really talk about too much, but there's a few other entrepreneurial things I want to do, products and stuff that I'm looking into. But yeah, music-wise as well, man. You know, I really want to try and get an album out, probably hopefully this year. Fans have been really onto me. I'm on my 4th album now. The last album came out in 2009. So yeah, hopefully I can get an album out this year. And yeah, a lot of entrepreneurial projects in the future.
What can we expect from the album? Can't you tell us that either?
The album, you know, I was going to try and get it out last year. And I'm working with this guy called Distortion, who made the Steve Austin Hammrd track. He also made a few other tracks I released last year with Wiley, They Got It Wrong. Also my summer's hit, Party Right. He's from Holland, and he's really kind of got cool energy. We've got cool chemistry. You know, I think first he's going to have a lot of energy, because that's something, you know, my signature sound. People want that. People want that hype. Come on in the club, everyone jump up. You know, but I also want to almost like inspire people now. I kind of feel like I'm in a position where I'm doing certain things, and to me it just feels natural, and it feels like it's just a job, but I feel like I'm in a position where I can see people who want to be there, and I think it's important that when you get to a position you try and, you know, spread the message of how you got there, and you know, how to conduct yourself, and
bring everyone else through.
Do you know what I mean? So I want to definitely try and spread that message in the new music as well, to try and inspire people to, you know it can be them as well, because I'm like, we're in East London, and I used to live like 20 minutes from you. I'm no different from anyone in the street watching this, so everyone could be in this position, you know, with a clothing line, with a music career, wherever. So yeah, I definitely want to try and get inspirational on them, definitely.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, that's it. Josh for the Lethal Bizzle, IDGAF magazine. Check him out. New stuff coming out, 2014. Could it be his year? I think it will be.
Want it, you can get it. See the levels, yeah, we set it. Slip it, neck it. Ain't nobody messing with us.